Hi, I'm Claire from Holy Heroes, and I'm hopping on here today to talk about getting ready for summer. If you have travel coming up over Memorial Day or the rest of the summer, here's my idea to try to make travel more enjoyable for mom and dad, whether you're in the car, at an airport, or whatever you're doing. Here's a really handy tip to kind of calm kids down, keep them entertained, but you don't have to plug them in to a TV. So, you've probably heard about our Glory Story audio Stories of the Saints. As you can see, this is huge. There are 17 volumes in the complete set now, and this is hours of entertainment for kids. So with these 17 volumes, you can listen to dozens of stories of the saints. So let me show you a few of my favorites. So the first one is this double-length story of Pope John Paul II. In the story, your kids will learn the story of Pope John Paul II, and these are the actual words of the Pope, the actual realities of his life. While we were writing the script, we actually tracked down two people who were teenagers in Pope John Paul II's youth group when he was a priest in Poland. Not only did we track them down and ask them to proofread the scripts, but they are both professional actors, probably from the inspiration from then Father Karol Wojtyła, and you can hear them play the parents of John Paul II in this audio story. Another great story to listen to is this double feature Mother Teresa and Saint Faustina. Again, when we wrote this script about Mother Teresa, we sent this script to Calcutta, to the Mother House, to sisters who knew Mother Teresa and asked for their input, and they sent back their comments and said, Mother would never have said this, take out this line. Or they would say, here are things that we experienced with her, put these in your script. So an incredible story, and there is a bonus track on this story called What is a Saint? That will explain to your kids what it means to be a saint in the Catholic Church. So if you have a child who's asked, what makes a saint? How do I become a saint? This is a great story to get them with that bonus content that will answer all those questions. Another great story that has bonus content is Kateri and Saint Cecilia. Again, a double feature volume. This one also has bonus content, an interview with Jake Finkbonner, who was the little boy who was cured by Blessed Kateri, and it was the miracle that then made her a saint. So an incredible interview with Jake Finkbonner about his miraculous curing from a flesh-eating bacteria and how he actually went to heaven while he was in a coma. Finally, the last volume I want to talk about is volume 8. This is the only volume that does not contain a story of the saints. Instead, this is our Best Loved Catholic Prayers and Prayers of the Mass volume. So in this 2-part set, we go over some of the best loved Catholic prayers. We teach them to your kids. We explain what they come from. We explain when you should pray them. And in the second half, we go through the entire Mass and go through all the responses. And we go through where these responses come from and, where you can find them in the Bible, how they were added to the Mass. We also have some Latin in there. So this is great for kids who are learning the responses at Mass, who perhaps have presented questions about the Mass to you. This volume is great. So, there are 17 volumes in total with Glory Stories. You can get the entire set at a steeply discounted price right now, right in time for the summer. So if you've been debating whether or not to get these, now is the time to get them before the summer. The other thing I do want to talk about, another great thing for travel, is this family prayer kit. If you are going to be spending a lot of time in the car this summer, you need to get this. So, this is a pouch that you open up, and I'm going to show you everything that's in it. So the first thing I'm going to pull out is going to be this carabiner with large cards on it. And these cards are shrunk down versions of our Mysteries of the Rosary posters. We also have all 14 Stations of the Cross shrunk down so that kids can hold them and look at them as they pray them in the car. There is one of these in each family prayer kit, but if you have kiddos who each like to have their own, you can get an add-on of multiple copies of these cards. The next thing is audio of the prayers. So this is a USB flash drive that you can plug into your car. And on this USB, you will find 2 complete rosaries, one with scripture and one without, if you need a shorter one. We also have the Stations of the Cross, so our beloved Stations of the Cross that people love to use during Lent is also on here. And finally, we also have the Divine Mercy Chaplet beautifully chanted on this USB. This is the only place on Holy Heroes that you can get it. So you'll also get this USB in your prayer kit. You're going to get a handy little holy water container. This is great for a car. It's not plastic, so it won't melt in the summer heat. and it's great to carry holy water in your car as you're driving around. Then finally, you're going to get a little single decade rosary craft that's going to look like this when you complete it. Why is this so great? Because you pull each bead and it holds in place. So if you drop it while you're driving, if you're handing it back to a kid to finish the decade, you're not going to lose your space. So you're going to get to make this as a family, and this is what it's going to look like when you're done. So all of this is contained in this handy pouch that seals. So if you have other things that you want to put in this pouch, there's plenty of room. Get this, put it in your car, have it there, and you can make some of those long road trip drives into prayer time. So Glory Stories and the Family Prayer Kit are two things that will make your travels easier this summer. Please order them now so you have them in time for those first summer days after Memorial Day. And I hope they enrich your family life. Thanks for watching.